So instead of trying to imagine how it would be if real life were more like the comic books, I thought, what if comic books were more like real life? I'll begin with the Marvel Universe. You'll see what I mean. Well, for a start, the Daily Bugle would be owned by News International. Peter Parker would be nothing more than a paparazzi snapper taking photos of the latest reality TV stars, who of course in this world wouldn't be the Kardashians. Oh no, a reality TV family in this world would probably be someone lame like the Fantastic Four. But that's not the only bad TV show that the Marvel Universe will have. They'll have their own version of The Apprentice, except it would be hosted by Tony Stark, and when he tells people that they're fired, he'll shoot a laser from his palm into their face, just in case none of the morons watching would understand the metaphor. And don't get me started on the X-Men. You see, they'll be complaining to the government about the rise of mutant hate crimes. Jubilee would be some whiny teen blogger organising yet another protest that will most likely end with Wolverine dropping an adamantium fire extinguisher off the top of a building. Or Crimea River Jubilee. What about Daredevil? That man is blind! And he's just had his disability benefits cut again, but he's also a lawyer, so that automatically makes him a dick. You see, he's been working on the super injunction to hide the affair that Nick Fury had with the Black Widow, except it was exposed on Twitter, and now the public is calling for the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. to resign. It's mental. And did you see Magneto was out in his t-shirt that says, "I'm a mutant, get over it"? Well, I am so over it, Magneto. Just like I'm over seeing Mary Jane Watson on the front cover of every lad's magazine and a new life story released every 3 years. I saw her being interviewed on a breakfast chat show the other day. She had this announcement to make. Well, I hope you like that little melody there, because she is going to release that as a single. It'll probably get to #1 as well. Well, I should probably move on to the DC universe now to balance things out, so please, try to keep up. Because of course News International also run the Daily Planet, except that it's not owned by Rupert Murdoch, it's owned by Bruce Wayne. I mean, you've got to have the richest man in the world run the media, right? That makes total sense. And Bruce Wayne wouldn't have to hire a private detective to snoop into other people's lives. He already is the world's greatest detective. And let's face it, if anyone has the technology to hack into a mobile phone, it's gonna be Batman. And I did think it was important for everyone to know that Lex Luthor had once taken a ride on Wonder Woman's invisible horse. But then again, who hasn't? Well, I'll tell you who hasn't. Superman. And in these days in health and safety, it means that Superman himself isn't allowed to fly anywhere unless he's wearing his helmet, knee pads and a high-vis yellow jacket. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me feel a hell of a lot fucking safer. And between you and me, Clark Kent hasn't been the same since Lois Lane was diagnosed with bipolar disorder that was probably brought on by the time she was kidnapped by the Syrian sex slave trade. Then there was the nonsense with the Green Lantern Corps. They're invading Iran over suspicion of having weapons of mass destruction. Well, we should all be thankful that the Owen Guardians of the universe aren't interested in acquiring oil. And while I'm on the subject of oil, a cargo tanker started sinking in the Atlantic Ocean. Thousands of people and innocent sea creatures were killed when the oil spilled and caught fire, burning everything to a horrible, soggy, salty cinder. And where was Aquaman to save the day? Well, he was having sex with his best friend's wife, which wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't a fucking killer whale. And if I could understand whale singing, I'm sure she'd sing something along the lines of... Well, I think that just about covers everything. So next time someone says to you that comic books aren't realistic, tell them that's the fucking point! The real world is horrible, and the real world is mean, and we like to escape it every now and then. And if it bothers you that much that comic books are unrealistic, fine. Why don't you just grow up?